There we go. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Donna, I saw your hello to everybody. So did you guys get the crazy list I put together? I'm like hiding behind it going, oh my goodness. Got that evil doctor laugh. However that goes. Anyways. So I wasn't going to put the days and the months in there. And I thought, you might want a list to just, go through and be able to spell them. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just stick them in there. So, you've got an extra, 17 words there with having the days of the week and the months of the year. And I don't know if anyone's had time to watch the video yet, but I could not find, I haven't looked in all my books yet, but I have not been able to find where you can have a picture of the months to show, so you have a reference. So I'm going to keep looking for that. And when I find one, then I'll send it out to everybody. So that's the only thing that's not in the handouts is the months. 'Cause like I said, it's weird that they're not in any of the books that I could find. But like I said, I've only looked in a couple. I just haven't had a whole lot of time to be able to do that. I spent the day up in Greensboro, yeehaw, trying to get phone stuff figured out. So anyway, so yeah, I did not count how many words there are, but I'm I know there's pages and pages. It took me forever last night to get all the pictures all on there, but I also shrunk them down so they weren't, because otherwise the squares are they're a good, that big. So I didn't want to take up so much space and send you 10 pages. But I wanted them decent size enough where you'd be able to see them and that they were clear enough. So anyways, so, and then my Word document wasn't wanting to cooperate with me, and it wasn't wanting to put my little list in 2 columns. It was just, I wanted to throw the computer. So, but anyway, so finally figured it out. And anyways, I had to retype it and all that hoo-ha. So computer fun. So, all right. So do you guys, I'm trying to think, because we can go straight down the list, or we can wait to do the weeks and the months at the end, or we can start and do those first. I kind of feel odd starting with April, even though it is the one that comes first in alphabetically. So maybe, how about we'll do this? How about we'll go according to the sign sheet? Maybe we'll do that. And then that way we won't forget the other ones, perhaps. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. And one way or the other, 1/2 dozen the other, you get it done at any rate. So does anybody have any questions before we get started? Nope. Thumbs down, thumbs up. Everyone's good. So, all right. Well, I'm going to say a prayer before we start. Thank you, Donna. I don't know if you guys know of the gentleman named Brad Hewlin. He's all over Facebook. It's the guy that owns the barber shop here in Thomasville. So he's just been weighing heavy on my heart. He graduated a few years before my younger brother graduated. I graduated in 90. This guy graduated in 96. So I don't know him, but I swim with a lady that goes to church with him. She's about my age. He's about 42 and or somewhere around there. And he wound up with COVID, evidently waited too long. My brother claims he waited too long, or they think waited too long to go to the hospital. Yeah, was someone going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, he actually, we know him pretty good. Yeah. I don't know about his situation right now because I've been starting a new job, so I've been out of it.
Right.
But he does my son's hair.
Oh, really?
And so we go over there. Yeah, we go over there all the time, at least once a month, and, hang out with him and stuff. So.
Right.
But I did talk to a friend and said that he is in the hospital.
Yes.
He does have COVID and he's in the hospital, and they're kind of worried about him. But
yeah, they've They
too
had a
much.
prayer vigil. So he started out at Thomasville, and then Thomasville moved him pretty quickly to Forsyth. And
Yeah.
he was at Forsyth for a long time, wound up on a ventilator, wound up getting double pneumonia,
Yeah.
and they put him in a medically induced coma. And as of yesterday, yes, yesterday was Wednesday, is when I saw Kathy, and it wasn't her. It was April Rich. I don't know if either of you know April Rich, but I go to church with her, and she knows Brad as well. They've been friends since like kindergarten. And she said that he
Yeah.
tested negative for COVID now, finally. So the COVID is gone. So praise God for that.
But still
And so
pneumonia.
the pneumonia, the double pneumonia is what
Yeah.
they're dealing with. So he's still in a medically induced coma, and they airlifted him to Duke because Forsyth said we can't do anything else for him. So
I got you.
Duke has this ECMO machine, it's called, where it circulates the blood and cleans the blood. It like recycles the blood. I guess it pulls it out, puts it
Yeah.
back in, kind of like dialysis type of thing. And so anyway, so they, according to what she was saying, this is like the only other option, I guess, that they have. So they're
Yeah.
really, really hoping that this will work, because he's in pretty bad shape, and he's, he's in a decent shape. He's not
Yeah.
you know, any health conditions. Bad health conditions that I know of. So, anyways, just keep him in your prayers because he's got a tough road. Tough. I can't imagine. Cannot imagine that poor mom and little girl's going through.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty scary too. They just bought a place and we're going to start building a house, and
right. Yeah.
he's got the shop, and
Yeah.
like you said, he's got his wife and sis and his little girl.
Right. Precious little family. Sweet.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, yeah. So just think about him when you're thinking. Just keep him in mind and say prayers for him. So for God to bring him complete healing. So I'm going to say a prayer, and then we'll get started. We'll go ahead and start on our words, and hopefully we can get through them in an hour and a half. So I kind of was extra zealous. Is that the right word that would fit there? I don't know. I was like, oh, let's go with this one and this one and this one. So anyways, all right, I'm going to say a prayer, guys. Dear Lord, thank you so much for allowing us all to be here tonight. And thank you for the cooler weather and all the many blessings you've given us today. Thank you for keeping us safe. And Lord, we just ask you to help heal our land of all this virus that's going around, and help people just to care about each other and respect one another, and help all those out there who are sick, help them to to get complete healing from you. And we know that you're the only one that can heal us completely. And we just ask you to please touch Brad and help him just to completely heal, so he can go home and be with his family, and he can bring glory and honor to you through all that he's been through. And we just ask you to help all those who are out there that are dealing with other issues as well. And we just ask you to we just pray that they'll develop a close relationship with you, and that will help them most of all. And we just want your help to bring light into this world. And we just pray that we can be a blessing back to you, Lord, for all you do for us. Amen. All right. So we start out with adults. So I tried to make sure I hit on the words like family and people and stuff like that I wasn't sure if we had at least like the picture, if you had it on a handout or not. So it might be one that we've already gone over, but you didn't have a picture of it that I know of. So that way you've got more nouns that you can use, and then sizes and temperature stuff, family. Let's see, just like some basic, adjectives and stuff like that, so that, you had a good vocabulary that you could use to make some decent sentences with. So the first one we've got is adult. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your A hand, and you're going to put it here at your chin, and then it goes up to your temple. So it's just adult. So I think on the video, what I did is I just went all through them. I did not go according to this list. I went according to the list minus the months and the days. I put all those at the end. So which is kind of like how we're doing it tonight. So just know that if you just want to fast forward and you just want to see just the days or the months, you just need to go all the way to the end. of the video that's on YouTube. So, all right, and then we've got angry. So I also tried to do other emotion words that I was remembering that maybe we had talked about but hadn't done a picture with them. So angry, you're going to do like claw hands instead of, flat 5 hands. You're just going to do claws. And if you can imagine when you're angry, you're kind of okay, and then things just get bigger and bigger. And so it's angry. So you've got like, we may have done mad one time, like a mad face. I can't remember because I don't think we've got that one. That's not on today. I think we've done that one before. But then angry is like you're just totally raging, almost like an Incredible Hulk type thing, so you're just angry. And so then we've got ant. Ant is, once again, it's an A, and you're just shaking it. You're just twisting your hand at your jawline. Keep struggling to remember which body part we're talking about: jawline, chin, all this and that kind of stuff. So ant, and then we've got large, big, enormous, great, huge, and even immense. And so I'm trying to see how they do it. Okay, so he's got with L's, and I'm trying to see if he shows. He has it with L's, which is kind of surprising. I would just do like big, like your hands, like not a 5, not a 4, but just like hands like that, and just doing big. Because if you do with L's, then you're kind of initializing it, showing that you're talking about the word large instead of big, instead of enormous, instead of gigantic, whereas if you just do it this way, then you're just letting it know it's big. So I apologize that I did not look very closely at what he was doing there to see that he was not just using just a generalized big. And you can even do like, it's almost like a, what do you call that? Just a generalized, what's the word? Like just a known gesture, that's the word. So, if you're telling someone that something was just so big, your hands tend to do like a claw, and just, you're telling the size of it. So, that too can also be big, a lot, large. So either way, you can do it with closed hands, big, to tell the size of something. You can put your thumbs up and say it's big, or you can even cup your hands and just say that it's big. So any of those are all going to be right when you're talking about the size of something. Big, and then small, which we get to at the end. You're just saying that something's small. And you can even just do small. You can just do like a little, like if you're holding like this teeny little thing, all those things are all going to tell the size, whether it's small, big, extra large, all of that kind of stuff. That's where the neat thing with sign language is, a lot of times it does go with your general just gestures. And something else, a lot of times I'll use something like, how great are you, Lord? No, maybe not. That might not be a good one. But like if you're talking about not like how wonderful God is, but just how big and immense he is, and that you just can't imagine how giant he is, how powerful and all this and that. So with that, I don't use G's, but instead I do like a kind of like, it's almost like instead of it being a C, it's like you're just using your first finger and your thumb to make C's. And that's like great. So it's kind of like G's, but you're making them bigger, if that makes sense. Yeah, you're making like a C just with these first 2 fingers. And that's also great. So, and that's where, that's why I was looking at it to see if it said use an L for large, a B for big. I've never seen E for enormous, but, you never know. But, with G's, well, actually they're C's, they're not really G's. You're just telling how great and how big something is. So anyway, so I wanted to mention that before I moved on to brother. So does that all make sense with that one? I know it's all a lot, it's overwhelming. All right, so with brother, you've got, you know, when you're talking about someone you're related to, as far as within your immediate family, you know, you're all alike. Okay, so like this is like the sign for, it can be used for same. So you're taking your two number ones and you're putting them together, that they're the same, they're alike. Then you've also got same, where you've got a Y and you're shaking your hand back and forth like this object here are both the same. So with brother, that's why brother and sister, you do boy and then you put them together, because you're talking about a brother. You know, you're talking about a boy, oops, sorry. You're talking about a boy who is like someone else. So that's why that sign is like that, because it seems kind of weird, like, well, why would it be brother? That doesn't, you know, if you don't know the meaning of the second sign, it doesn't really make sense as much. And I don't know that I explained that on the video. But anyways, I may have gone into that, I don't remember. So just remember that when we do sister, you know, so you've got boy and then like. They're just, you know, the same. So, and I don't know why it's not like boy and then same, but brother. So, and then we've got but, although, and however. And if you just look at the signs between that one and different, they look the same. But they are different. But I don't know, quite honestly, they do not. I was wondering if they would show what the difference is between them, and they don't. So anyway, so this is the way I learned it. So but is when you're crossing your fingers, and so whatever your dominant hand is the hand that's going to be closest to you. And then, yeah, and you're just pulling them apart, because you're saying, you know, if you can imagine, you're telling someone, oh, I really enjoy, you know, going and doing this and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, so you want to just make that a real big, like, you're getting ready to kind of go against what you just said. I like that, but. Whereas different, you do 2 times to show that they're different, that it's not the same as but. But according to here, it does not show that difference. Okay, here it says that but is just like a small, like it doesn't go out big, whereas different goes out further. How I was shown is but is just 1 time and different has 2. Almost like you're striking matches to get them to start. But is just 1 time, 2 is you're showing that they're different. That's how I had learned. But anyways, here it's just showing that your but, B-U-T, doesn't go too far apart, whereas your different goes far apart because they are not the same. So they're different, and that's how they're showing it. I don't know. I kind of like mine, but I'm a little biased, a little better. But anyways, then we have cold, chilly, frigid, and winter. So just like how you would imagine, you know, showing someone that you're cold is you make your S's, making fists, and you put your hands close to you and you're just shaking them because you're just cold. You're just cold, and you're going to act cold, like, whoa, cold, you know. And that is if the food is cold, the air is cold, the floor is cold, any kind of cold, except if you have an actual cold. If you have a cold, then you're doing like this. You're just kind of grabbing your nose with, like, trying to figure out how to show that. Yeah, and you're just like grabbing at your nose to show that it's like you're wiping your nose with a tissue, kind of like that kind of thing. So that's where it would not be this. You wouldn't say that I have a cold, you know, and I've been sneezing a lot. You wouldn't be doing that. Then you're doing your little cold on your nose instead of cold as far as an adjective. That's how we can differentiate it, is if you're talking about an adjective describing something, then you're going to do this. But if you're talking about the noun of a cold, then you're going to wipe your, you know, do something with your nose. after you hand sanitize your hands, of course, so that you don't wind up doing something there. Gosh. Anyways, so, but now when I was in school, we did W's for winter. But there again, we were trying to, initialize everything. So cold, winter, it all gets understood. And then we got cousin. So I always thought that if you did cousin here, you do a letter C and you do it here. I always thought that was more like for a girl cousin, and then the male cousin is going to be up a little higher. Here it says, yes, okay, that is what it says. I wanted to be sure it did signify that, or it did show the difference between those two. That, I apologize, that little square of cousin got a little bit too close to the cold square and cut off some of the words. But it does say that the C hand will be close to the right temple for a male, and then down to closer to the jawline for a female. And all you're doing is just shaking it, just like you did aunt. You're simply just doing a little twist in your wrist. Same thing for cousin. And it'll be the same for uncle as well when we get to that one. So then daughter, so we've done brother. All right, so now we're going to flip and we're going to talk about a girl. So, you've got like baby is just like how you would do it if you were, if you didn't know sign language, but you're talking about, oh, that's such a cute little baby. You would do just like the generalized gesture of a baby. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a girl with that. So you're going to put girl and then baby. And how I do it is I put that hand that you are using to make the girl sign with, you kind of catch the hand in your elbow, girl, and then right there. Yep. So that is daughter. It's just a girl and a baby, which, it's funny because even if your mother winds up being 100 years old and you're 80, I guess you're still the girl baby, So anyways, it would be nice if it changed as you became an adult, but I guess it doesn't. All right, and then we've got different, differ, diverse, unlike, and varied. Not variety, but varied. So, and they've got, that it goes out further, almost like shoulder width for different. But like I said, I do the two different versus one for but is the way I had learned. So I need to check my other books. Let me grab a pencil. I just want to check that one versus other books. All right, and then we get into a simple one. That's one of those just simple gesture things is drink. So you've got your C hand, and just like you're holding a cup, you put it here at your bottom lip and you're drinking it. And you don't have to, especially nowadays, you don't have to touch your face. You just want to put it close enough to it so you can show what it is you're doing, that you're drinking it here and not pouring it over your head, so. And then we've got easy and simple. Now this one, they're showing it like it's down here, but I had always learned easy this way, like where, so the hand is kind of curved. The left one's kind of curved towards you. It's almost like you've got this wall. And then the other hand is curved just a little bit, and it's just tapping on the fingernails and going up. It's almost like it's wiping the fingernails a little bit, just like those three, your middle, your ring, and your index finger. And you're saying, oh, that's just so easy. That's easy. But now, like I said, they've got it where the hand is down instead of being where the hand is, the back of the hand is showing towards the person. So either way, easy. Either one is correct there. So then we've got fun versus funny. And I always got these two confused. So fun, you're taking a letter U and you're just doing it on the end of your nose. So this one is funny, is where you're just hitting the end of your nose. But then fun, you're actually letting the the letter U is coming down and stopping and landing on the left letter U. So you've got your two U's. Your left one is down if you're right-handed, and the right one kind of goes on your nose. And it's just like your, I don't know, I guess kind of like a clown nose is what it's kind of signifying. And then it lands. So you do this, and then it lands like almost like it's sitting down, almost like sit down, but it's just the fingertips that touch. Funny. Funny. So does that one make sense? And you don't have to strike your nose a bunch of times. You can just do it one time and say, oh, that's so funny. So, whereas, or so fun, sorry. See, I keep wanting to get them mixed up. So fun is just strike here, land here, fun. Whereas funny, I guess the way you can remember is funny is a longer word and it doesn't have an ending. Whereas fun always has to end. And it ends on, landing on your fingers. Maybe that'll work. All right, so funny, amusing, comical, hilarious, humorous, all are funny. And then grandfather. So we've got dad, father with the number 5 with the thumb rested on your forehead. So if you've got a grandfather, you just go out. So you're just going out one. And I said on the video that it was my understanding that you just do 1 for grandfather, but if you're talking about great grandfather, then you're going to do 2 bumps, is the way it was taught to me. So I want to look on here. It says to move it in 2 arcs. So I'm surprised because I really thought just 1 is grandfather and 2 would be great grandfather. So, but according to this, it does not. So if I'm talking about a grandfather, I just go out like 1 time. But if you want to go out 2 times, for grandfather, to go with the syllables, that is fine as well. And same with grandmother, since you've got mother here, and you've got grandmother. Although I did see it somewhere how you would spell great and then grandmother instead of doing it 2 times or 3 times. I'm probably just gonna, do a couple of them is what I would do for great grandmother. I mean, the person's gonna get the idea or say, are you talking about your, they're gonna ask you, are you talking about your great grandmother? I mean, so anyways, all right, so we've got, grandfather, grandmother, or grandmother, grandfather, either way there. I feel like we got a lot of either ways going on tonight. All right, then we've got hot, and I know we've talked about this one before. Somehow we were talking about something going in the mouth and then throwing it out. A lot of things that are things that you don't like, it's like you're throwing it away from yourself. So you're taking like a C hand, but only the fingers are all spread, kind of like a claw type hand, and you're putting it at your face, almost like you're putting like a gas mask on or something, you're like putting it here, and then you realize it's hot and you throw it away. So hot. And it doesn't have to be, far out, you can just do it just right at your face, just a little one. It just depends on how hot it is, like, whoa, that was hot, like then you throw it out a little further or just a little bit hot. It just all depends on what the context is of the conversation. And if you're telling what someone else is saying, how dramatic are they being? If it's my preacher, it's going to be, whoa, it's hot. And it's going to be like flying across the room type hot. So hot and heat are both the same, hot. And that is whether you're talking about the temperature hot of the air, or if the sun is too hot, or if the food was hot. Any kind of hot and heat is going to be like that. It's just hot. And then difficult and hard, they've got, I feel like, I'm like, Stephanie, you should have looked at these a little better. Because I always learned like just hard, and that's what I showed in the video, is you're taking 2, what I call like snake eyes type things. So it's like number 2s, but they're bent. And your base one, if you're a right-hander, is going to be your left hand is going to be the base where, you know, you're not moving it. Your right hand is going to hit like right in that crook area is where, that's how I was taught to do hard and difficult. They've got it going like this, that it was hard and difficult. I had learned that that was the sign for problem. Like if you've got a problem, a math problem, you've got a problem that you're trying to figure out. You know, I've got car problems. That's what I had learned for problems. So that's kind of interesting that they've got difficult for that. So either way, know that it's going to be right. But like I said, now on the video, I do show that it's hard like that, whereas they've got them striking them. So I apologize for that. I feel like there's several of these tonight. That kind of really bothers me. Anyways, it makes me want to look at other books to go, huh, okay, that's interesting. So I'm going to mark that one, and I'm going to look that one up too, just to figure out what's going on with that. And then hungry, hunger, appetite, crave, gosh, famine and starve, all of them are all the same thing. So you're doing the letter C, and then you're going to turn it towards you and put it here at your chest, and you're just going down one, and just to show that you're hungry, you know, and there it's showing that you got the food that's going down your throat, so that you're hungry is all that you're doing there, hungry, and that you're starved. And so you could put all kinds of emphasis. You know how kids can be when they're hungry, like, Mom, I'm so hungry. You know, so you can do it exactly, Amber. You just do it, or else they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die if I don't have something to eat. Even though I just ate 2 hours ago, I've got to eat because I'm starved, I'm famished. Yes, I just came from school and I'm hungry, I'm withering away. So all the same thing, hungry. Hurry, hustle, and rush. Now, they've got it just with one H, and all you're doing is you're shaking it. I learned it with two. So know that if you're just saying, come on, you need to hurry up, you know, it's kind of like, it's the mom thing when you're telling your child, it's time to go to bed, you need to hurry up. You know, you're just saying with one H, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. But if you're getting tired of them not doing what you've told them to do countless millions of times, and they're still not doing it, it's like you get those two hands going like, hurry up. You know, your temper starts to flare a little bit. So then you've got your two H's going. And I did show both of those in the video that I made last night. So your H's
It
are.
does say on here that if two hands are used, they can be quickly raised up and down
Okay.
alternatively.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's almost like you got guns going, you know. You know, like that's what it makes me think of, anyways. But yeah, I always just did them at the same rate. But yeah, I mean that makes sense too. But yeah, I've always done them just both at the same time. That's funny. It's almost like you got drumsticks going. But yeah, as you can see, I have not read them. But yeah, that's interesting to do them alternately. All right, so before I tell you husband, we've got the sign for marry, and we marry as far as marriage. So you've got, you know, you've got two C's and you're putting them together, you know, like you got the husband's hand and the wife's hand coming together as a pack. So in order to show that you're talking about the male versus the female, you got to put the boy or the girl before you do the sign for marry. So you've got boy and then marry. So it's like the boy is landing in the girl's hand. You could think about it that way. And then if you're talking about wife, then you've got girl, and then your C hand is landing there. Does that make sense? So yeah, girl, I'm sorry, wife, and then husband. And I've seen some people will put a little twist, and we can get to this one later, but anyways, while we're on the subject, to make it a little bit more fancy, is they'll go around almost like, you know, the marriage is being blessed. So you got your C hand and it goes around the one hand and then it lands in it. So to marry. Either way. But when you're doing husband and wife, you don't have to do that. That's just to to me, it almost like makes it a little bit more symbolic. It's like it's talking more about the ceremony, of being married. We're getting married. So that might be the difference there. But yeah, husband and then wife, you don't do the thing of going around. It's just straight to the hand, straight to the hand. So just so we know that. And then last and final and lastly, and those each you could do differently, but we'll go with just the one so I don't confuse everybody. So last, if you take your 2-letter I's and your left one, again, being your base, that's not going to do the movement. Your right one is going to strike just the end fingertip. And so you're just doing last. This is the last time I'm going to tell you. This is the last thing we need to do. Yes, this is the last store we need to go to. This is the last of your homework. That's the last of the Doritos. So once you eat them, they're all gone. Last, let me tell you, we should buy stock in Doritos because that's what this child has eaten me out of house and home in Doritos. And so last. Like I said, and so you can use it for last and final and lastly, and just know that there are some other ways that you can do, end and final, and I do show that on the video as well. But yeah, last and lastly, definitely, but end, like I said, you can do another way, and then final, finally, and even finished can be, if this is the final, this is the last, this is it. It can also be used for that. And then we've got gentleman. We talked about gentleman, man before, but I just thought, let's put a sign, one of the pictures on paper so y'all have it to refer back to. So you're going to do your man, or you're going to do boy, I'm sorry, and then your number 5 hand is going to land right here, just like you're doing fine. You're doing the sign fine. So you got a man. I guess you got a boy that's fine. That boy is fine. So, but I think the reason why, and I explained this on the video, it's here is because ages ago, men would wear their coats and they'd have those nice white shirts that had all the ruffles right here. And I think that's why it lands here, this shows that you're talking about a man, a gentleman. I'm trying to think if there's any other word for an adult male. I can't think of one. So yeah, so man and gentleman. And sometimes you will see the hand roll down, and then sometimes you will also see the hand going off of the chest. So you always do the boy here, or you can do the boy with your hand rolling down, or the boy and the hand going off of the chest. Any of those 3 are correct. And I have seen, and I showed this on the video too, where people don't do the boy, they just take, and it's kind of strange when you think about it, because it's like they just go from a number 5, kind of like father, and then land it here. So it's like father man. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird if you think about it, but I have seen that done before too. So that is a nice looking haircut, by the way. Just saw a head going by. I was like, oh, check out the cool haircut, man. I like it. So then we've got many, and we talked about many last week. So we got many, lots, numerous, and scores. Gosh, I must say I've never said like, there are scores of flies outside or something like that, but I guess that would be the same thing. So all you're doing is you're starting out, and I think we've talked about this one last week. Instead of having like a closed S, you've got your thumb resting on your fingernails, and you're turning them towards you, and then your palms are facing up, and you're doing, it's like they're springing up. So yeah, so many. So then if you want to do how many, and you do your how and many. I know that looks complicated, but anyways, you're just doing your how, and then you're resting your fingertips and doing many. How many? How many? And I'm trying to see, do I have much on here? I thought I put much on here. Oh, okay, okay. Good. So whereas much, and here again, they might not have their fingers so far apart to do much. It's kind of like you're big and a lot and large. It's the same kind of thing. So if you want to say how much do you want, you would just do your how and then much, much. And you can separate your fingers and do much, or you can keep them together and do much. Either one. But I believe on here they're showing the fingers slightly curved, and they just say drawing them apart. They don't say anything about the fingers being loosely apart. So, but either way is going to be understood. And then they've got marry and marriage. Wedding is different. I don't think I may have said it very quickly on the video that I made. Oh, I better plug in the computer. So I was like, I better check that. It's on 7%. And so if you're talking about like the actual wedding, then what you're doing is it's a wedding. So you're just going to swing the hands. This one is like a downward. That's a funky shaped hand. It's like a G that involves all the fingers. And so it's like, this is, I guess you could think about this as being the husband's hand, and this is the wife's hand that's just swinging in and he's catching it. So I think that's a sweet one, but that's wedding. The hands are coming together and joining, whereas a marriage and then a wedding. Yeah, I was trying to think if the thumb was out. As far as I know, the thumb's out, but I did not put that one in there. But just know that is wedding versus marriage. All right, and then we've got mean. So, and here again, now they've got, and this looks really similar to their problem, but you're not striking them up and down, you're just going down. But how I learned mean was to do them kind of like a big E, and it's mean. But this is fine too. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just two, you got your two snake eyes, whatever you want to call them, bent V's, bent twos, and you're just going down. He was so mean. He was so mean. Either one, he was just mean. Either one's going to be good there. And then you have mean, like, what did you mean? What's the meaning of that? What's the purpose of that? All that kind of stuff. So you've got your left hand, if you're right-handed, is facing to the right. And then you've got a number 2 for your right hand. And you put them here almost like you're poking meat, if you will. Poking meat, and then you're turning it. What did you mean? So you're going to put it here, and then you're going to turn it. Yeah. Yep. So you just have them straight, like straight right at the hand, and then you turn them. So now instead you're poking your knuckles. Before you were poking like the center of your palm, and then you poke the knuckles. It's funny to me that that's a sign for mean, because it's also like, I'm pretty sure that's a sign for toast. I can't remember if it's this. it's just funny to me how some signs are so close to other signs and they mean nothing, have nothing to do with the other word. But I'm pretty sure it's toast. And then you've got meat, like a piece of meat, where you're just like shaking it. So who comes up with these signs? I don't know. But anyways, so mean. So what did you mean? What's the definition? What's the meaning of life? All of those mean. So just so you know, this is mean, like describing someone, versus mean, the verb of mean. Intent. Oh, and it shows purpose. Now I had seen purpose before as like you think, and then the mean, to show like, that you're thinking about what's the meaning of it. Like, what are you thinking? What's your purpose in life? That kind of thing. What was the purpose in you doing that? That kind of thing. You have to think about it first. And then you've got month, and I'm pretty sure we've done this one, but did not put it on paper. So you've got the number 1, and the side of your finger is pointing towards you as far as your left hand. And then the right hand, the other number 1, the back of the finger is what's going to go down the 1. And the reasoning there is you got to pretend that you got this little calendar here and it's on your finger and you're going down the entire month. So you've got month, and then if you just keep it right here and you don't go down the whole thing, then you're talking about temperature. But if you go down the whole number 1, then you're talking about the month. And you can just talk about months and months and months and months. Gosh, and that's a tongue twister after a while, but months versus 1 month. And I'm trying to think at the end if I found one that showed last month, next month. No, I guess I did not find one. But it's the same thing as like week, where you can go like month and you're talking about like last month. So you're taking that 1 and you're going behind you last month versus next month. And I don't know, I mean, I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the same kind of thing, because you got like next week, next year. So I'm thinking month's got to be the same thing. It just feels kind of weird doing it. All right, then we have more, which I know we've done that one before, but I didn't feel like I had it on a picture on there. So all you're doing is all of your fingertips are touching and you're just tapping the tops of the fingertips to each other. And that's one of those ones that most children learn first. And then we've got much and lot. So we were just showing that with how much and lot. And then now I know we've gone over now because we did today. They do now just with your hands curved a little bit and going down now, whereas I had learned it with Y's. I don't know why, but I had learned now is this way instead of this way. So either way, you are correct.
It does say that you can do Y's also.
It does say that? Very good. Bent hands.
And I like the Y's too.
I do. I like that better. It's like it gives it more definition. Like
my grandma used to do it too.
You want, exactly. See, you got it, girl. You're good. Now, I'm saying right now, go get the shower. Give me the phone, and you're going to get a shower. Yes. Let me tell you, get your butt in bed and don't be taking an hour long. Go. Yeah, I like that one better too. All right, so then we've got paper, and I was talking on the video the difference between paper and school. So paper, you've got this one is your base, your left hand again, and you just have it out like someone's going to hand you something, and then the other closed 5 hand, and all you're doing is hitting the base of your palm against the other one. So almost like you're doing like a kind of a dorky clap, but you're moving it. And it's like if you can imagine your copy paper is coming out, and you don't want to, hit your hands, but you're just gently showing that the paper is coming out. So paper. And then if you just clap them, then you've got school. So you got school, and then you've got paper. So does that make sense? You're just sliding it. The palm of each hand is like sliding against each other. The left one is staying put, and the right one is doing the motion. Kind of like it's like the paper's coming out of the copying machine. And so if you're left-handed, then it's going to go the opposite way. That always feels so unique, so different, to do it with the other hand when you're so used to doing it one way. So yeah, so paper. And that's for colored paper, lined paper, striped paper, graph paper, whatever kind of paper you're talking about. And color. So you can say, I need some colored paper. So, all right, then we talked about party. I feel like we talked about party and play before, but it's your letter P's, and they're just going back and forth. If you imagine like people, swinging, having a good time, dancing around. So that kind of goes along with party. So all you're doing is them just going back and forth, kind of like they're dancing. Your letter P's are just a dancing. Yep, so that one's pretty easy. Versus play, you're taking the Y's, you're taking the last letter in the word, and you're shaking them. So they're playing. So all you're doing is just shaking, just like you had aunt and you had cousin, you got the same thing with your Y's, but your Y's are not up here. They're kind of like, it's like your Y's, it's almost like you're going to go in and you're going to pick something up, like you're going to pick something up with, like you've got those fancy, whatever those things are. Oh, like some things to go in and pick up like a pizza out of an oven or something, so your Y's are out and the knuckles are facing the person, and then you're just shaking them. Does that make sense? Yep. So you're just playing versus party, play versus party. I always get those two mixed up. I always have to stop and really think, oh gosh, did I just do the right one, or did I just tell someone that they were partying instead of playing? Anyways, now as far as that's play, as far as like an activity that well, let's see. It's a verb. Okay, so this is the verb for play versus if you're talking about that you're going to go see a play or that you are involved in a play in like a skit, a drama, something like that. I wanted to put in what the other one is. And just like we do sign language, where you're pulling the letters, the fingers towards you, same thing with drama. You're taking A's that are kind of your thumbs. Well, I guess they are closed A's. And all you're doing is you're pulling them towards you and they're striking your body, but you're pulling them alternately against you. Yep. Just in a circle. Yep. So that's if you're talking about like you're acting. If you want to talk about an actor, so what would you do to make this into a person instead? Very good. Woohoo, woohoo. That's right. So your act and then your you got your actor. Right. Yep. So I wonder if you have a baseball player. I've never thought about this before. You've got baseball. It's just like you're swinging the bat. And then I guess you would have play and I've never thought about that one. I wonder if that is how they would sign baseball player, because that's what you're doing. It's a player. Never thought about that one, but that's what I would think that would be there with that one. And then this is also for like a show that you're going to, like if you're talking about going to a Broadway show, or you're going like to the Carolina Theater and you're going to watch a show, so it's all the same stuff. A drama, you're acting, you've got a performance, you're going to the circus performance, if you want to talk, you want to be fancy like that. It's all the same kind of thing there. And then we've got run and sprint, and that, we've done before. So you're taking your funky G's and you're linking them together. So your left one is the base one, and the right one's kind of grabbing on to that thumb, and then they're just running. They're just going forward. Yep. And sometimes you can move the left one like a little trigger finger, but you don't have to. You're just showing that you're running. Yeah. Oh, he's got something else there too on the top. Trying to figure out what that is. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that. Yeah, almost like you're sliding into the base is what it reminds me of. That's interesting. Place both flat hands palm to palm with left hand on top. Oh, left hand on top. And slide the right hand quickly forward. Oh, I can honestly say I've never seen that for running. I've never seen that. Right? Because it's saying, yeah, slide the right hand quickly forward and the left one is going to be on top. Yeah, that's really interesting. Never seen that. But that really to me looks like someone just slid into base. That's what that looks like to me. But I've always just seen run. Run. All righty, then we've got school, like we were saying, is just I liked the little memory aid I was reading. It's like the reason why the sign is what it is because it's like the teacher's trying to get everybody's attention. Hello, pay attention. Come on now, children. Like they still do that nowadays. Anyways, So yeah, so school, but then you don't want to, clap your hands. You want to try to keep it quiet. You don't want to draw attention to yourself. See, perceive, sight, and vision. I feel like we've done this one before, is where you take the number 2 and like these are, your fingertips are like your eyes and you're just going out that you see something. I see it versus that you look. So you're seeing and then you're looking. So yeah, just see. See. And then if you're left-handed, of course, you're going to do it with the other hand. And then sister. So we did brother was boy with the same. So sister is going to be the girl with the same. Yep. Yep. Exactly. All right. And then we have small and little. We talked about that one. Just, instead of it being, your hands going out, your hands are going to come towards each other and it's going to be small. And, if you're talking about something really tiny, small, you're just going to do that natural gesture of it being really little. And then son, just like we did daughter with the girl and the baby, you're going to do the boy with the baby. So you got a son and a daughter. And that's for if you're talking about Jesus the Son or, any kind of person, that's a son. So not to be confused with the S-U-N, the son or the son, either one. There's so many different ways you can do S-U-N, son. You can like go away, you little update thing. So did I just mute my? No. Okay, there we go. So you can like draw a circle and then shine the light on you, or you can have your fingers all together and draw the light on you. There's so many different ways I've seen a person to do sun. It's crazy. It's like one of those not hands across America. Oh my goodness. Signs Across America book where there's just like gobs of different ways to sign sun. But I tend to just go like that just because I like that one the best. Anyways, all right, so you got think, consider, reflect, and speculate. So I put 2 different ones here. I put the one that I would use, that first one, when you're doing like this, think, to me, that's like you're thinking about something. So like I'm going to think about it, I'm speculating, I'm wondering. It's all of those things as you're going around in a circle. Whereas if you think you know something, like I think I'm going to do that. I think I actually know it. You're just pointing to your temple, I think. And he's got it going in the middle of his head. I've never seen it that way, but either way is good. I always do it on the side. But think, and they've got mind, intellect, mental, and brain is what they have. Whereas I would use that more for think, but on the side of the head. So that's why I kind of threw that one in there, because I was like, oh, that's different how they've got this is think instead of this is think. So to each is their own. Like I said, either one is going to be correct, so you're not going to be wrong there. All right, so then we had aunt, and then we've got uncle is with the U up here since it's a male that you're talking about, uncle. So I think that, let's see, we've got cousins, we got brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. I think that takes care of everybody. Yeah, all right. So walk, there's 2 different ways you can do walk. I showed on the video. This one is almost like you're shuffling. This reminds me of, bless her heart, reminds me of my mother-in-law, who, you kind of shuffle your feet. You're just moving them forward. Whereas I learned walk, like you're actually lifting up your feet and walking. So if I'm going to sign something about walking, I'm going to like plod along. But I thought that was interesting. They've got it like you're shuffling your feet, walk. So either way is right. And I'm looking here to see if I see that he's palms down. Yeah. So either one is correct. Whether you want to move your hands up and down, or if you just want to slide them, either one is showing that you're walking. And we've talked about want and don't want, but I don't remember that I put it on a paper. So you've got want, what you're doing. If you imagine like the object being up here that you want, and you grab it and you pull it towards yourself. And that's what you want. And you don't have to put your hands out really far. It can just be, your arms rested at your side and hands just here, and you just pull it back a little bit. Want. And then if you don't want it, of course, there's that throwing it away from yourself. You don't want it. And you can do that, and you can move it all around. A lot of times when I'm signing stuff at church, I put the evil stuff over here on my right side and the godly stuff on the left side. So if I'm talking about like that fear, comes here, but I don't want it. So, you can position it and move it in all different places. It doesn't have to just stay right here in front of your body. You can just move it over here. God doesn't want, I don't know, whatever, fill in the blank. Just so you can just move it all around to different places. So just keep that in mind. And then I threw this one in at the last minute. Oh, and I can't remember if I put that one down. I did not. I was doing this quickly before I headed up to Greensboro. So I did not put in the sign weak, like as far as you're feeling weak, the verb. I didn't write that on our list. Shame, shame, I'm being fired. All right. So anyway, so if you are weak, you have your left hand out and your right hand, like the fingers are just resting on the center of your hand, and you're just moving them. Almost reminds me of like a blob that's just going blah blah. So you're showing that's how you feel. You're feeling really weak. So yeah, so that's interesting how he has it though. That's why it's so hard sometimes to learn from pictures. But I would put mine here almost, and then it's like your hands are coming up, you have a little bit of energy, and then you go back down. So you're weak. Oops, weak. It's like, it just kind of shows how the body's feeling. It's feeling weak. Whereas that's interesting. Curved fingers. And it's like they're just going up and down, almost like a octopus, not octopus. What are those? Jellyfish. Like a little jellyfish is just going up and down. So I tend to just roll them back and forth, just so you know. It's flat, it's up. It's flat, it's up. Is she out? She's tired. Oh wait, she's getting up. This is like the story of my life here, personally. And I don't work outside the home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. So weak, feeble, frail. So know that you can do it that way. And I apologize for not looking at that one. Good grief, to see, that it's not necessarily the way I would do it, but you can do it that way, or you can rest your fingers flat and pull them up and back to show that you're weak. So kind of almost like a rickety fence, or some kind of rickety something that's going to fall down because it's just so weak. You're just waiting for it to collapse. So, all right. Oh, we're on our almost last page. All right. Let me get the paper here instead of that one. All right. So then we have week as far as the time of year that you're talking about. And we went over this one before, where you've got, here is like your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all your days. And so your number one and your closed hand is what's actually sliding across your hand and showing that it's a week. So you're going from Sunday all the way over here to Saturday on your calendar. So week. So you got a week, and they don't show next week. They're just showing week. So if you, just like you did monthly, where you're going up and down, all the way up and down the number one, weekly is you're going down and you're going back. Like I wouldn't do it this way, kind of like you're sawing it or sanding it, but you're coming up and it's weekly. It's coming up and back every week, every week, every week. So weekly versus next week. See, they say they're showing weekly, but they're not, or they say they're showing next week, but they're not. So you've got week and then you come forward. So you're doing next week. Yep, next week. Next week. versus last week, just like we did the last month, you do your week, yep, and you point it over your shoulder. You come out last week, it's in the past. Because this is the sign for past and before. I mean, you've got before, but you also have before. Like if the, anyways, I won't get into it. But so you've got the week that was the last one, or several weeks. And you can even do 2, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, so you can do, you can put all your numbers in there and just shoot it up over your shoulder. So 5 and then weeks ago, next, I'm trying to think if you were to say in like 4 weeks, maybe not 4 weeks from now, in 3 weeks from now. So you might do next week in 3. You might be able to get away with that, showing that you're talking about like not next week, but the week after, or like 2 weeks after next week, and you throw your number out there. So anyways, I was just thinking some other ways that you can do that. All right, so does that all make sense? Yeah. All right, so we did last week, and then we talked about husband and wife. So you got your husband, and then now we're coming up to wife. So you've got girl, and then you catch her in your hand. So your wife. And then lady is just like gentleman and man, lady and woman. I put it there to go along with the list of showing woman. So you've got girl, and then you're fine. Or like I said before, you can do girl and you can roll your hand down, which I think that, no, you might be going out and tilt it forward and slight forward down motion. Yeah, so he's got like girl and then going down, rolling it down, because once again, it's all the ruffles that used to be here to show that it was a lady. But like I said, I just do girl, and then I just put it right there, girl, or woman, sorry, woman. So then we've got year, and I know we've talked about that one, but I couldn't remember. I do think we had that one in with our numbers sheet. I do think we did that, but anyways, but I don't know that we did last year and next year. So there's your year. So you got however we said the sun is here and the earth's going around it. I think that's what we had said. I was like, I can't remember. So you've got year, and then you've got last year. Once again, you're throwing it over your shoulder, and then next year, and you're going forward. And really, I think when I do next year, I just hit it here and then go forward. Instead of actually going around and going forward, I just do next year. You just hit it and go 1, bam, bam, hit it and then go forward. But probably to be proper, go around the sun and then go forward. But either way is fine. Yay, so we got through those. So then we get the days, and then we got the months. And like I said, I really hate that I can't find signs on those. That's really a bummer. All right, so we got Sunday, and I feel like we've gone over these. But anyways, it will be a good review. So Sunday is the only hand that you'll use both of them. It's almost like wax on, wax off type of thing. So you got Sunday. And then if you want to, I showed this on the video too, if you want to do every Sunday, you got to pretend you've got like a calendar here in front of you, and you just go straight down. Like all the Sundays in the month, you're going to be going to have lunch with your family every Sunday. So you got one Sunday versus every Sunday. And then you've got Monday is in a circle. And I did try to put them all in alphabetical order after I already did the alphabetical order on the sheet. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure they're all in there. But anyway, so Monday, it just goes around the circle. And that's what all of them do, is for some reason they go around in a circle. So Monday, but then if you're doing every Monday, you're going to turn your M up. Yep. And you're going to pull it down like it's going down the month. So instead of every Monday, for some reason, it's this way. I don't know why. But yeah, every Monday. And then you've got Tuesday is a T going in a circle. And then if you're talking about every Tuesday, once again, your T is turned up, your palm is facing up, and you're going to go straight down. Like you're going down all the Tuesdays on the whole calendar. So yep, Tuesdays. And then Wednesday is the same thing. You got your W going in a circle if you're just talking about just one. Versus if you're talking about every Wednesday, your W is going to be up and you're going down every Wednesday. And then Thursday is an interesting one because you've already used your T, so you can't use it again. Just like if you're abbreviating it, you're going to do something else. So you're going to do your T out to an H. So it's just a T and then an H. Yep. Yep, there you go. So it's a Thursday. So if you're talking about every Thursday, this is the odd one that the way I remember doing it is a TH and you just take your H and go down. So you're not turning it up. It's just the H goes straight down. So there's always an oddball that doesn't follow the direction or the rule. Not a rule follower. Rule breaker is that Thursday. Thursday used to be a good night. Used to be a good night to watch TV shows. Don't know that it is so much anymore. It's when Friends was always on way back a long time ago. That my son, who's in college, has now told me that he has like watched all the episodes of Friends. I'm like, okay. Binge watching at its best. So then you've got Friday, goes around in a circle. I just remember us watching that first year we were married, living in Charleston. Anyway, so you got your Friday, got it going around in a circle. And then same again is your F for every Friday. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before that it could be, because it would make sense that just to be your F's going down, but I remember us having to turn the hand and going all down. And then Saturday, you've got your one S that goes around a circle, and you've got your S going down. Yep, S. So Sundays, all Mondays, all Tuesdays, all Wednesdays, all Thursdays, rule breaker, all Fridays, and all Saturdays. And then you got your Sunday and your Monday and your Tuesday and your Wednesday and your Thursday and your Friday and your Saturday. So you can, you can kind of sing the little days of the week song, however that was. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't remember how it went, however they sang that in kindergarten. It was such a cute little song. I can't keep a tune in a bucket if I tried. So, all right, so months. So months are interesting. So you've got to pretend that your hand, your non-dominant hand, is like a calendar and you're flipping it. So you start with one letter on this side that's facing you. And then as you go up over the calendar, it changes to another letter. So just like Monday, you've got your M, and anyways, let me not go into there. All right, so we'll just start with January. So you've got JA for January. So you're going to do a J here, and then you're going to go up over, and it becomes an A. So it looks like a JA. So it's kind of strange, and maybe that's why no one has it on paper, because it's kind of difficult to do. But you're doing a J at your palm, and then you're going up, and you're going to make it an A and come down in the front. Yep. So you're drawing your J here. It's like you're making this J right here on your palm, but then your A is going to come down here. So you've got a J to an A. So it's like you're going up and over, and you're just switching them from one letter to another. So January. Yep. So February, you would think with February, since it's the only F, you could just keep it February. But I remember doing F to B. But I am sure that if you just did an F, that would be perfectly fine. But I always learned F to B. So you're going up with your F like you're counting, and then you're going down to the B. February. Yep. And then March, oh dang, I'm trying to remember now what I did. Yes. I think I did MA. Trying to remember if I did MA or MR because you got March and May. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be an M. So you're going up for your M and then down for an A. M and A. M to A. Whoops, I did an S. M to A. And then April, you've got your A going up, and then you've got your P coming down. So A to P. So A, P. April. And then May, you've got M to Y. So you've got an M going up and a Y coming down. So it just looks like that, like MY. And maybe that's why they use the two letters, because it can be kind of hard to see what you're doing if you're holding your hand here. You can't really, it's kind of, what's the word? It's not obscure. It's just, it's hidden. There's something in the way blocking the view. So you need something else to kind of give you a clue of which month it is you're talking about. So maybe that's why. So we were on May, so we did M to Y. So June is a J. Oh, see, now I thought it was a J to an N. Or is it a J to, I'm pretty sure it's J to N. It's a J and then an N. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. The first one is January, J to A. It's kind of like remembering your abbreviations for your states. Like which one is MI versus MA versus MO and, all that. So June, JN versus July, which is going to be JL, J, and then your L. July. August. So August is going to be A to G because we did AP for April. So you're going to have an A and then a G. Yeah. The A goes up and then G comes down. August. And then September, and there again, there's only 1 month with an S. So why can't you just do SS? But so SP for September. So S going up and P coming down September. And then October, it's the only one with an O, but why break the rule, I guess. So OC. And this is just how I'm remembering them. Like I said, I am going to look to see if I can find some pictures. And then November, there again, it's the only one with an N, but of course we got to go NV. So N to the V. I guess I do, yeah. You're kind of like resting your N there, N to a V. N's going up and then V's coming down. N and then V. And then December is D with a C. So your D is sliding up and then the C. And I'm just now seeing that there's 3 things down here on the chat. Trying to remember what a question on Sunday. Oh, would you spell out Sunday? Oh, for ice cream. Oh, that's a good question. I would, I guess you probably would. I don't know. I've never had to sign like that kind of Sunday. But yeah, you definitely wouldn't do your Sunday. That's a good question. That is a good little predicament there. That I wonder if you would just do dessert, which I think is just a dessert. But let me look that up because that could be the signed English one. And I don't want y'all to learn and correct. Let's see. Where is dessert, Stephanie? Oh, there it is. Okay, 58 on that. And then I'm going to look up Sunday and see if it's in here. I don't know. It would be in here. I never thought to look at that word. Sunshine, Sunday. Oh, no, no Sunday. So let's see. So dessert, what was it on 58? Okay. Ah, really? lollipop. Okay. Just trying to see if it showed any kind of anything. You know, you've got ice cream. So like you're holding your cone and you just go down like you're licking it. So ice cream. But then it has dessert, which is really kind of interesting because this is meat. Of course, it's not with D's, but they've got dessert like your D's are meeting. Dessert. Bring the thumbs of the D's together a few times. Huh. I really thought I saw something with this instead. I'm going to look in one of my other books just to make sure. I wish they put all books in like alphabetical order instead of feeling like they have to group them in. Just aggravates me. Just makes it so much easier. All right, they've got 271. 271, and no, she doesn't have Sunday either. There we go. Sunday, ice cream, pie, dessert. Okay. So yeah, they've just got like little ones, little D's, you know, tapping just a little bit. Whereas the other one, they were looking like almost like they were coming together like in a little valley or something. But this one, it's like they're just hitting each other, which is weird because this is like the sign for divorce. So that's where I'm like, really? Shouldn't it be something
Well, ice cream
else?
is serious.
What?
Ice cream is serious.
It is serious stuff. It is some serious stuff. It's a sweet, and that's what, like, this is a sign for sweet, whether, you know, you're like rubbing down your chin. And so that's the sign whether it's a sweet person, that's a sweet food, you know, sweet. So that's why I was like, surely that's dessert. But dessert, I got nothing on that one. And I have a feeling this is like a very, very beginner book. I feel like, yeah, they don't have dessert. But I thought I would just check it out just to see, because you never know. You never know. I think if any of my other books would have anything, but I don't think so. Like I said, I didn't look in here to see if they have the months of the year. No, they've got separate. I think I looked up months, and they usually don't list out, you know, like months of the year or something like that. You would think they'd have a whole page of it, but nope. Month and monthly. That just shows page 40. So I don't know. I need to contact someone and say, you need to do an addendum on your book. Yeah, they don't show them. That really stinks. They really need to. Strange. Anyways. All righty. So do we have any questions? Whew. I think we got through all the words. I don't think I left any out there. Now that I've made a mess of my papers over here. Yeah. So someone asked today someone asked how to sign it, and I just spelled it. Yeah. Yeah, probably so. I don't know that there is one. Oh, and I don't have my phone on me to be able to look to see if there is, you know, another sign for it. If you look on that, what is it? I can't think of what my little app is that I sent out to let y'all know. If you look on that one and you type in the word Sunday, you know, and then hit enter, it might come up with something. Oh, I don't have my paper's not there either. I can't think of what it is right off the top of my head for some crazy reason. I want to say hand speak, but that's not it. There it is. It is the one that I use all the time is Sign ASL. That's that. Right? Yeah. Oh, no. No. Yeah, Sign ASL is a free app. Yeah, and then there's signasl.org, and then there's Signing Savvy. So I mean, you can check all those. Oh, and I was bummed to find out somewhere during this pandemic that valleybible.net, they don't have their website up anymore. So you can't go on there to check, how they suggest you do certain church signs. I mean, like I said, I've got a book that shows religious signs, but it doesn't have like a lot of signs that you would think it should have. Maybe it's just outdated. I'm not sure, but anyways. But yeah, you can always too, Donna. You can go on to onto Google, and you can put in Sunday. Type in the word Sunday, and then space, and then put ASL and hit enter, and it might come up with something too. I've never thought to look up to Sunday. So it's funny. I stopped at Dairy Queen on the way home, like I really needed some Dairy Queen, but it was there. So, you have to stop. And I brought one home to Jake. So, there were a lot of people buying Sundays. So would have been handy to know the sign for it if I needed to sign it. So, anyways, all right. You guys have any other signs? Oh, okay. You tried several sites and you didn't find it. Oh, yeah, I guess you do just have to spell it. There's so many that it's like, oh, I could think of a way that you should say that, but I guess there's, like you could think up a sign that would be appropriate to go with it, but I guess it wasn't created. That's interesting. But yeah, that would be a good one to ask like a deaf person, like how do they sign the word Sunday? So. All right, you guys have any questions? I'm sad that it's our last class. I hope you all have enjoyed, and I have no idea how many words we've gone over. I feel like I've just kind of bombarded you with like all these signs. But if you just take them and make, string them all along, you can make some awesome different sentences with all the different words. I came up with a bunch of silly ones. Can you play in a play? Just some different things so you can string all the words together and make them, so you can talk and have communication with someone. So anybody got a question or anything? No? Or we could go over, let's see. Yes. Okay. My clock over here, Kyle's clock. I have fixed the hour, but did not fix the minutes. So I'm like behind 5 minutes over here. I have 7:55, but it is 8 o'clock. So if you guys ever have any questions or anything, feel free to, email me or message me on Facebook or whatever. Anything you come up with, hey, how would I sign this? This is what I'm seeing. Is this right? Just anything y'all can think about. I wish I could offer a class after Christmas, but I've got so much going on. We've got children graduating, Amber, and so it's craziness right there. And then I've got other stuff that's going on. I'm handing off the treasurer position, yay, for the band. So, I've got a lot of organizing I've got to do to get that all done and get it done the right way. So it's all nice and tidy, and I can just go, here you go, have fun. Someone else's turn. So, anyways, but yeah, if you guys ever have anything, just let me know. You know where I'm at. So, thank you so much, Donna. That's sweet. I'm glad you've learned a lot, and you'll fine tune your skills. And yes, you'll be able to talk to a lot of different people and different patients. And something that's been really neat, I got a mask from a deaf lady. I may have showed it to y'all. I can't remember, but I've got 3 of them. And so it has the alphabet on it. And I have had so many people say something to me like, oh, I've always wanted to learn to sign. So I've said, well, you can go on YouTube. I'm like, yay, I can now say that. You can go on YouTube on the church page, and here's how you find it. And hopefully it's easy to understand. And I don't have the handouts clicked in there. I ought to figure out how to put them in there. But anyways, at least the signs are in there. And I had a gentleman today at Jersey Mike's to say, "Oh, wow, that's a really cool mask." And he said, "We tried to teach my son, we tried to get him to learn sign language, and he's autistic, and he just wasn't willing to do it." And I said, "I understand." And he said, "I'd really like to learn it." I said, "Well, let me tell you." I started telling him about the YouTube page, and he was like, "Oh, here's a piece of paper, write it down for me." So, I mean, people that are like, "Ooh, I'm going to go check it out," or "I'm going to come to your church," or, I mean, just, so you never know, with something simple, a t-shirt or something that has the alphabet on it, or a sign or something, and it'll catch their attention, and then you can, talk to them about what you've learned, and, show them a few signs. So just, anyways. All right. Well, it's been
I spoke to a
fun.
lady today at work, where I'm at now. I just started this week, and we were talking about a couple different things that I had done during my furlough and during my time off before
Right.
starting back. And I said, well, I started an ASL um, with a gal and a group of ladies have been really nice. And she says, what made you do that? And I said, well, I said, I wanted to learn something new. I wanted to learn something that could be useful in the future.
Right.
And I
Absolutely.
said, I mean, my sister's epileptic, so she has a lot of kids that are around her age, and their groups that they go out and do things. They all have mental, physical disabilities, and so sometimes that works out. I actually worked as a respite hab tech too through Easter. Well, it used to be Easter Seals. Now it's Greater UCP.
Oh,
But yeah. So now, and I work with them, and I had a lot of kids. I had an autistic kid. We had triplets who were preemies, and kind of delayed learning. And we also had Down syndrome and stuff like that. So
right.
a lot of the mores and the eat
Hmm.
and the thing I was learning then, but I didn't know all of them. And then my
Right.
grandma used to sign church, and we did a couple of performances with dance and sign, but I still didn't know everything then either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's always been something I wanted to do. So
Well,
just
that's
randomly
good.
put it out there. It says a Thomasville page.
I'm so glad you
And here
did,
we are.
because, and then my one friend that I'm in the band boosters with, she's like, "Can you help her out in this?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." And I was like, "Oh, I wonder how I
Yeah.
could do that to keep everyone safe, and yeah, do it on Zoom," and just kind of evolve. So thank you for, bringing it out there. So, I can go back to that page and I can say, "Okay, guys, here's the link, if you didn't join class," because I know emails get lost in junk mail and all kinds of stuff. Gmail
And
has
just
started some
in
new
general.
update thing.
Yeah, and just in general, life has kind of gotten a little crazy,
Yeah,
anyways, for people, and sometimes
yeah,
things just thrown into a Thursday.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know things are just, it just gets hairy. It's just the nature of the beast of life. But at least it's there, and you can look. I saw that like week 2 had 102 people who've looked at it. Maybe it was the same person looked at it 102 times. Who knows? But
I might
and
have like 2, 3.
you looked at it like 3 times. Well, good, good. So then, other weeks have like 2 people or 20 people or 30 people or something. So it's like, as long as it helps someone out there, that's all that
Yeah.
matters. So, I'll need to go
And see,
on
the
and,
lady that I was talking to,
yeah,
she's an older lady. She's almost to the age of retiring. And she said, I've always wanted to do that. And I said, well, I'm going to write down the church name and you go look it up on YouTube. And
right.
so
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
absolutely. Tell her just look for the little purple dot. There you go. Look for the little purple dot and Mount Pleasant. I think, I don't know it because there's so many Mount Pleasant churches across the
Yeah.
country and probably the world, but you can look up, I believe it's Mount Pleasant Church, Thomasville. And I don't know if it would
Mhm.
help to even put North Carolina because there's Thomasville, Georgia. And I think that'll get you there quicker. But if you just look for that little purple dot, then that's you're at the right spot then. So, and then I tried to keep them all with that sign language, the I love you sign, because I really want to make a magnet with that. It was just one of those God moments sitting in the church parking lot, and all of a sudden I've got this image, because I wanted to put it out there somehow that there's
Yeah.
interpreting services here if you would like to partake. and are needing it. And so, I just felt God saying, until the whole world, and I was like, what, until the whole world knows Jesus? I don't want to take Casting Crowns song. And then I got talking to the youth pastor, and he's like, well, do you want to write till the whole world hears about Jesus? And I was like, well, no, because that's kind of, like they can't hear. So I was like, until the whole world, I can't remember what I put, if it was sees, I think it's just till the whole world knows Jesus is what I left it at. And anyway, so I need to make some of those magnets, and then it's got the little Mount Pleasant sticker on the hand. So that's why that's one of the things to show you that this is for the sign language classes. I try to keep that so there's that consistency there, whether it's the class or the lessons, the teaching lessons. So, but yeah, it's amazing what God does when you just, mention it and try something out, or put it out there on the Thomasville page and see God work and say, here you go, girl. All right. You asked for it.
I did.
Yeah, you did. You got it. You got it. So, and I had someone say, when are you going to offer like an intermediate class or a level 2 class? And I was like, well, you really need to almost look at, okay, well, what did you learn as a beginner? Because some of this that we did was some more intermediate stuff. So, so I don't know. Anyways, I need to go back and talk to that person, just tell them, hey, go back and check out the videos to see if there's more that was gone over and taught than what you learned in your beginner class. So maybe there was and maybe there wasn't. It's hard to say. So, but anyways, all right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, like I said, just give me a shout out and whatnot. So it's so good meeting you guys and reconnecting, Amber, and seeing everyone. You guys all, yes, Donna says stay well. And I have enjoyed our class time together. I have too. So you guys stay well. Be careful out there. Stay healthy. Keep praying. We'll get through all this together. It'll all go away eventually, in some time, in God's time. However it ends, it'll end. So, all right, you guys have a good night. Love you guys.